with Steve Evans and Don Garlitz. This is Don Crickey back at Raceway Park near Englishtown, New Jersey, where the fun never stops for these race fans on final day. But in the pit area, it's a very serious business. Crew Chief Tim Richards, who engineers the horsepower for Joe Amato and his Top Fuel dragster, conferring in the pits as they get set for the Top Fuel final of the Summer Nationals. Joe Amato will be facing Gary Ormsby in the finals, and there's plenty of action in Ormsby's pit right now as his power plant is adjusted to get the maximum horsepower, and there's the man who can do it, his crew chief Lee Beard.
The final round in Top Fuel here at the Summer Nationals certainly represents the two finest teams in Top Fuel racing today.
And out on the starting line as the semifinals of funny car competition get underway, the two drivers involved may not be considered the finest teams in all of drag racing, but on this day, they certainly have shown their mettle. Look at old George Hoover, 84 years old. He's so happy to be in the semifinals. And also darned happy is their grandson, Troy, hanging out on the starting line with his 84-year-old grandmother, Ruth, as they look on with fingers crossed. Tom Hoover meets up with Johnny West. And Don Garlitz, I don't think you can pick a favorite here.
You certainly can't. And an interesting side note is West has lane choice and has chosen the lane that has not been in favor with the drivers today.
It is Tom Hoover smoking the tires. George says, nuts. They got just a little greedy in that far lane and lost traction. Johnny West wins it, goes to the final round at 560, 263 miles per hour. Back at the starting line, Don Garlitz is with Tom's mother, Ruth. Don?
Well, the party's over, but it was a lot of fun while it lasted, wasn't it, Mom?
Sure. No use worrying about it.
That's right. There'll be another, right?
That's right. You'll win one of these fine days.
It's been 11 years since Son Tom has won in funny car competition, but the Hoovers are always back to race another day. Now it might be time to start celebrating that 65th wedding anniversary. No time for celebration yet for Bruce Larson, a man who's won a ton of funny car titles. His opponent, Chuck Etchels, has yet to win one, but he could today. He's in the semifinal round. Let's go back and visit now with the man who won the other semifinal matchup.
Johnny West, finally a final.
Well, saw a few with Rollinsdale, but on my own, it's been a long time.
A home-built hot rod. You got to be thrilled.
Shade tree back hot rod. It's just, it's nice. It really is. Makes you feel decent for once that you can run with some of these guys. We may not be running the numbers, but at least we're getting there first.
But in the final, can you run the number? Could you risk your precious parts to run a number to win it?
Well, actually, we are trying to run a good number. We've stuck some of this high gear stuff in here, the high-tech guys have got. We're just murdering clutches, and I don't know what to do about it. You can't stop it.
We hope you find it.
Thanks.
Whatever it takes to win, Johnny West looking for that breakthrough victory.
No, Johnny West has been, well, to be honest, a bit fortunate today to get to the final round. Chuck Etchels over in the far lane. His 529 is the class of the field. He has definitely earned his right to be here alongside the reigning champions. Oh, Larson leaves way too soon. Larson is disqualified. The red light blows on the tree. Chuck Etchels goes to the final at 5:54. Bruce Larson wastes a much quicker 5:46.
Here we have the classic example of the pressure of losing lane choice plus facing a competitor with a better performance. Bruce Larson was light years early and gave the race away with a red light.
And now the final pairing for funny cars is set. Johnny West versus Chuck Etchels, who right now is with Steve Evans.
You know, with West 560 laps times all day, you've got a real shot at this thing. You can only beat yourself, really.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I think you're absolutely right, and we're going to do everything in our power not to do that, you know.
See you then.
Hey, thanks.
The form chart taking a beating today. The favorites are out. Chuck Etchels looking for a championship. Meanwhile, the Pro Stock finalists, and there's one of them, Mark Powick, relaxing in his pit area. He's got a lot of family support today. That's his mom, Irene, behind him. His dad, Emil, is here also. His opponent, Darrell Alderman, signing some autographs in the pit area. That these leisurely moments will give way to the heat of battle when we come back as they run for the championship at the NHRA Summer Nationals. Johnny West enjoying an exciting day, towing his funny car to the staging lanes as he gets set for what could be his first ever NHRA national title. He's in the finals of the funny car competition. But first, Darrell Alderman is ready to go in the Budweiser Summer Nationals in the finals of the Pro Stock competition. And he's matched against Mark Powick.
Now, Darrell Alderman in the Dodge in the far lane has outmuscled one competitor today and outdriven two others. Mark Powick has outperformed everybody he has raced.
But the cars come to the line in this final confrontation dead even. Both the performance of the cars and the drivers has been flawless for the entire afternoon of racing.
The big question is, can Mark Powick win his first ever national event? He holds the national record, but is winless. Alderman outperforms Powick off the mark. Powick charges. Not enough. Darrell Alderman, 7:32, defeats Powick, 7:31. Don Garlits is at the starting line with the winning crew chief, David Hutchins.
I've never seen such phenomenal lights. He got some starting line advantage, didn't he?
He's just been doing excellent all weekend. He's brought us through this race.
And he did it by hole-shotting both Bob Glidden and Mark Powick.
In the replay, we watched two evenly matched cars, but Darrell Alderman takes a 400th of a second starting line advantage over Mark Powick, but only gives up 100th of a second in the performance of his car. The net gain is vividly demonstrated by the margin of victory for Darrell Alderman's Dodge.
Alderman's first Pro Stock title this year.
I said it before, but I've never seen you this loose. I'll say it again. What have you done mentally to tune up?
Well, when your car's running good, it seems like you're looser and you do better, you know. And Mopar Performance Dodge really done good this weekend, and I just can't say enough about Wayne County. And that's it. I'm just excited. I don't know what else to say.
I can't say enough about your driving.
Well, thank you a lot. I really appreciate that.
They've done it. The only Dodge in the sport has won another Pro Stock race.
One of these days, honest.
Good fellowship and good sportsmanship at the Summer Nationals as Alderman goes away with his fourth career title. Chuck Etchels is hoping for his first in the funny car competition. These Summer Nationals have produced upsets. Johnny West is hoping that his racing luck will hold up one more time. He's yet to enter the winner's circle in a national event. Johnny West, a multi-talented man. He's not only the driver of this car, he also built it. The fans normally think when two cars get to the finals of a national event, they're big money operations, but that's not always the case.
Remember John Force's War Wagon we showed you earlier? All the parts you have to be successful in today's drag racing? Somebody forgot to tell Johnny West. All he's got in here is an echo. There's some oil over here. There's enough nitro maybe to get through this race. He might have to borrow a couple of gallons. His biggest asset, this electric welder and his gas welding equipment. Because if this car breaks, Johnny West fixes it himself. Just goes to show, if you chase the dream hard enough, you might catch it.
And this might be the day for hard-driving Johnny West.
And in the far lane, Chuck Etchels, his pockets aren't very deep either. That's another team that runs very lean and has to be very careful with all of their parts and pieces. Right now, they put it all on the line. And even though Johnny West may not have a lot of spares, I guarantee you everything that is on the car is first rate.
And I can tell you one other thing. Johnny West has run 560s on every run, so Etchels knows he's going to have to go down and turn the wind light on.
Either way, we'll see a first-time winner. Johnny West hard into the wall. Etchels goes on to win it, but Johnny West has suffered severe damage to his home-built race car. The body is torn off the right side. He continues to make contact with the wall. He better stop that car. This racetrack comes to a very abrupt dead end. There's a highway on the other side and a wall. Oh, this is not going to be pretty.
Oh, what an impact. That is a driver's worst nightmare. Hitting something like that so solid.
Johnny West is in big trouble, obviously, at the end of the racetrack. NHRA Safety Safari immediately on the scene. If you're going to have this kind of problem, you want to have it when these guys are around. A flash of fire backs them up, and they again go in to attend to Johnny West, who is still strapped into the cage of that car. Let's have another look. Near lane, Don Garlits.
Watch this car carefully and watch the right rear tire. You'll see some sort of liquid get under it as it passes through your screen, and the car immediately hits the guardrail. What a tremendous impact. I personally feel that Johnny West was knocked out at that moment and no longer knew what the car was doing. The throttle was hung partially open, so as the fuel began to get to the engine, it got faster and faster. A driver's worst nightmare. Unconscious in a so-called runaway car, and then to hit a solid guardrail at the end. A terrible accident.
And as if Johnny hadn't been through enough already, this was all climaxed by the car being vaulted into the air. Emergency workers, NHRA Safety Safari, Raceway Park crews on the scene, clearing up the debris, but more importantly, attending to Johnny West, who is still in the car. And the report is that he is conscious. He has regained consciousness and is talking to them. Boy, that's some awful sweet news after what we've seen.